like a magnet that makes people forget everything. Look at the markets. People are rushing over there. So if that is the demand for fish, opportunities in creating these shell fisheries or fish farming and prawn fishing will earn you a lot of revenue. Many of the fields which are there, which are just left without doing anything, they can be put to use. The point is, we have to have a frame of mind. Then the recent introduction here in Goa, recent means about 2 decades back, is the pharmaceutical industry. Now, if you look at Goa, they have got industrial estates, and the DFDA, that is the Directorate of Food and Drugs Administration, it lists out about 157 pharmaceutical companies in Goa, of which about 71 of them are major units. They are generating a lot of employment for people. Their turnover, annual turnover, is expected to be around 7,500 crores. And this is growing up every year. Annually, they say, except this year, but annually it is showing a growth of about 15%. And can you believe it? These 71 major units are providing direct job opportunities for about 25,000 personnel. Let us not look at the job opportunities that are related directly to the pharmaceutical industry. Let's look at the job opportunities that are created indirectly. What about transportation service? What about godown service? What about distribution service? So many. We require this, but pharmaceutical company does offer a lot of fixed opportunities and opportunities that can be created. And please note that this 25,000 people who are working in Goa, they need to eat their food. So it creates subsidiary opportunities to create food outlets. Today they don't want to go to hotels and eat because of COVID. After that also, it is not going to be that people will be very frank to go into certain areas where they can be afflicted with COVID. So you have got an opportunity to look at supplying of food, homemade food for them, hygienically prepared food from them. But whatever you are doing, please note they are all governed by certain regulations of FDA, FSSAI. So please follow them before you even start looking for opportunities there. Now this is, I have kept this last because hospitality industry is my passion, and I'm going to talk about that and explore the topic part of this webinar. I'm going to relate it with this hospitality industry, and I have very good reason for that. Now, just look at this. Most of the units that are there, manufacturing units that are there anywhere in the world, they have got a separate department called as a marketing department. And what is the job of that marketing department? Is to create an image of their product and display it wherever possible to attract buyers, to tell the people that my product is better than yours. Now, like that, there are innumerable other companies which are competing with one another. Goa is one place which is blessed by God, by nature also. It receives 5 times its resident population as annual tourist footfalls. We are looking at about 14 lakh 80,000 people here in Goa as per the 2011 census. And what we receive every year is 60 lakh plus tourists every year. We are receiving that. That is 5 times the resident population. And you try to tell them not to come to Goa, even like in COVID. Look, read the papers. You open the borders and the people are already making an exodus to come to Goa. Not only the local people and the local citizens, we have got all the film stars also coming here, and they are being splashed on the TV right now. So we have got high profile people coming here, low profile people coming here, low budget people coming here, high budget people coming here. And the major players in this particular industry, where I have been part for almost 2 decades, They are the hotels and resorts, travel agents, tour operators, restaurants and shacks, taxi and bus operators, spice plantation, museums. Now, these are the major industry players over there. And what is seen over here, tragically seen over here, even when I was part of that particular industry, I have noticed that the locals, they shy away from venturing into businesses that are allied with this fabulous tourism industry. They are scared to take calculated risks, and most importantly, they want to follow certain things that are there in the book. They are not ready to think out of the box. And then what happens? What happens to that vacuum that has been created? This lacuna which is left there, this vacuum is filled by the non-Goan business fraternity. The Lamanis, the Tibetans, Kashmiris, Rajasthanis, Biharis, UPX, they are making a roaring business in a place we say that there are no opportunities. Now, this is something very tragic. Just ask yourself, do you think all these people would come here to Goa if there were no business opportunities? Is it possible that we have put a cover between between us and the opportunities that are there, and we are not ready to think anything except what has been traditionally done over here? What have we done to tap those 60 lakh people who are coming into Goa? They are coming to you, and we are satisfied. Now, when I talk about tourist arrivals, now I had, thanks to the Directorate of Tourism, I interact a lot with them, and they have been very kind enough to give me all this data. Now, look at the red line. We are looking at, say, between 2010 to 2020, just one decade. The amount of visitors total, that is the consolidated visitors, have jumped from around 27 lakhs to 80 lakh 64,400 people, out of which almost about 71 lakhs are Indian visitors. The visitors who are actually spending much, they are the people who are giving or making the other businesses survive. They are the people who are taking back things from here. And we had about 2,81,000 foreigners who are contributing to the foreign exchange of our state. Though they may not come and buy a lot of things over here, we find that there is a little type of bias between a local Indian, whom we very sadly call as Biknagar, and we run after these foreigners who don't actually give anything. The cream of whatever they are spending is collected at the point of start, point of origin. Here, the services are being given by their own people, which is a very sad thing. So you look today, when I say today, don't look at the figure which I have shown you at the end. It has dipped drastically because everything all over the world came to a standstill. It stopped. We stopped breathing for a while. The earth started breathing while we stopped breathing. From 80 lakhs, it dropped down to 11 lakhs. The Indian clientele, from 71 lakhs, it dropped to 8 lakhs, 8.5 lakhs. And the foreign clientele from 9,37,000 went to 2 lakhs. So we are looking at such an ideal situation. I call this ideal. People may agree or not agree with me, but when a thing is already traditionally showing a huge rise, and today it has suddenly slumped, it has given us a huge time to think, how do I monopolize on the business that is there? Okay, there is no crowd, so now I can build up my infrastructure, I can create opportunity, I can look at different things. So when the people come back, I will be ready to sell. And now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, not to sit down and crib that COVID has done this and done that. COVID has given us a fabulous opportunity to sit down at one place and think whether I like it or not, sit down at home and think. The schools and colleges earlier, when I came to my college now, Dempe College, the first thing that that my uh, the visual that I saw over here was mobiles and others are not allowed in the corridors. But can you believe it that very institution or the very institutions in Goa which were not allowing the mobile to come in the college have now taken the college into the mobile. Things have changed. And like Dr. Borkar said, there was a time in the past of Goa or past of India where if you had to say that people would be sitting together in a metal box and they would be taken from one point to another, the elders of the house would beat you because they would think that you had gone mad. But the child who is born today knows that he can sit in a metal tin called as an airplane and fly to wherever else in the world. Now, if this change has taken over in the last 4 or 5 decades, or maybe 8 decades, look at another 4 or 5 decades more. Whatever we have in our hands today is going to be redundant. Things will come, opportunities will come, and if we are not keeping our eyes open and ears open, we will be the losers. We cannot take this attitude of being susegad and then lying back saying that I am happy with what I have. Remember that story about the camel and the Arab. The camel was tied outside and the Arab was sleeping in his tent when in the cold or in the middle of the night, the camel asked him, he says, see, boss, my nose is becoming very cold. Can I put it in your tent? So he said, no problem. After some time, he said, my ears are becoming cold. Can I put them in the... And finally, it so happened that the goodness of that Arab had to sleep outside and the camel was sleeping in the tent. And that is going to be the state of Goa. If we people, the student community basically, do not start looking at opportunities by thinking out of the box. Now, these are the people who have come here. Look at the charters that are coming in. See what started in the 90s, in the charters that came in, the Condor that landed here. One charter in a month or one charter in a week led to 1,128 charters in 2015. Bringing in, I've given a box over here, bringing in from 59,800 people, passengers in a year through 337 charters in 94-95. I'm just going to take 2018-19, it went to 813 charters with 218,000 people. And even now the last figure is till March 2020, that is 1920. That is 169,000 people came by the charters. Now another opportunity has come in. The passenger ships ocean liners have started to come into Goa. From 2015, 28 ships that brought in 28,316 people. By 2019 till January 20, we had received 28, bringing in 35,000 people. And last year, that is 2018 to 2019, we had 40 ships, huge ships coming in. And you will not believe, they just come in the morning and they leave in the evening. And in between, there are these people, these 35,000, whoever these people are, they are getting down. You have to do is offer them services like taking them to different places, taking them to different restaurants, taking them for shopping. They have got a short time, and in that short time, they are giving you hundreds of thousands of rupees of business. What else can we say about opportunities? Now let's look at accommodation. From Star Hotel, that is 63 number Star Hotel, to this thing, we have got 88,271 beds officially, and we have around 4,135 units officially recorded, and there are hundreds of others. So here around these units, around the starred resort, around the heritage resorts, and all these category ABCD hotels, you can come up with so many things that people can be made aware of. Now, I'm going to come to the actual topic of today. A friend of mine, Mr. Pantaleon Fernandez, he has come up with one book called The Traditional Occupations of Goa. And we were talking the other day, and my other friends also were talking, that he has made a huge contribution to Goa by taking these photographs and making the people aware, and also documenting certain traditions which within the next 1 to 2 years are going to disappear. We will never know that these occupations were there in Goa. So he has got this, and if ever you get a chance to peruse this book, this is available in many of the libraries and in the central library, that is Dr. Shama Prasad's library at EDC Pato. Please see this. And I have just picked up one thing from here, from his book. Now, I have been, for the last 4 or 5 years, I have been talking to my students about this. Now, Goa, whenever you are traveling at different places, especially between Ribandar to, from Panjim to Ribandar, or from Kurka or in Kurtori, you see a lot of fields where you see salt, that is sea salt, being manufactured. And just to give you a figure, I stay in the village called as Kalapur or Santa Cruz. And there is a word when you are coming there inside. It is called a Bondir. And that word Bondir has come because there was an ancient bandar there. Bandar means a port, mini port. And you will not believe this, but from that port annually, they would export about 50,000 tons of salt to the world. Now, earlier salt was not available in shops. The housewives had to buy this salt when that bullock cart came and store it for the whole year. Today, the scenario has changed. Today, you can walk inside any shop and buy a packet of salt. They are branded. And adversely, what has happened? This industry in Goa, this fabulous industry in Goa, which has made generations and generations survive on this salt, has suddenly been told that you don't have iodine, you don't have this, and you don't have that. This is bad for you, which I never knew about. But this industry has suddenly started collapsing. Labor intensive, very labor intensive, but you can't get labor in Goa. But here is a job opportunity for all. What salt we are getting basically is not sea salt, it is rock salt. In Goa, we have been making salt from the sea. We allow a little water to come inside these specially prepared fields, allow it to get exposed to the hot sun, and after evaporation you have the salt that settles down, which is collected here. You can see in the first photograph over here on top. Now, I see a huge opportunity in this industry. Remember one thing, Goans today are becoming aware about Goa and Goans. There are associations all over the world, global Goan associations all over the world. We have got Goan diaspora spread out in all the 5 continents. And anything related to Goa, they jump for it. Today, you have got 2 or 3 options. Number one, you have got your family business, you continue that. The next option is look out for a job. And the third, which is really booming, and that is look out and do a startup. Start something of your own. Think out of the box. You don't have to. Today, whatever is going to survive is out of the box. Big companies have disappeared because they didn't change. Now, if we don't change our attitude, we too are not going to survive in the field of competition. I have a suggestion here where the sea salt is concerned. The salt is being made in Ribandar, in Kurka, in Kurtori, in Agarwada, in Perne, so many places. But the quantity has reduced. And the quantity has reduced because the people who are buying them, their number has reduced. Now, if you have to think as an entrepreneur, go and buy the entire salt. You tell them whoever you want to sell, you sell. Whatever remains, give it to me. And then today government is giving so many subsidies. It is trying to tell you that only 3% of the sunlight that falls on this mother earth of ours is being utilized. They are giving you lot of subsidies, lot of technical assistance to go into solar power, use of solar power. Now if you have to buy this salt, now this salt of ours, let us accept it, is impure. It has got lot of impurities in the form of plastic, in the form of glass, mud, in this particular salt. So what you can do, get through to the FDA, get through the FSSAI, get through to so many other agencies that are there. Ask them, how do I purify that salt? So if they tell you that if this has to be mixed with water, fresh water, and done sieving, and this particular broth that is made by you has to be dried up again, then use solar power. You are not taking government power, you are not paying. In fact, today the solar power has become so beautiful that institutions and
Give.
factories are putting solar panels because the additional generated electricity is taken back by the government and you are paid for it. So instead of paying your electricity bill, you are getting paid for electricity that you are giving to them. And just see, if you can do packets of Goan, pure Goan sea salt made from Arabian Sea, I'm just giving you ideas, and you market it not in Goa but send it all over the world, those Goans are going to be this product of yours, pure Goan, which these Goans who have gone abroad have grown up on. This will be like a magnet for them to come and buy. And here you are, not only
Thank you.
earning money for yourself, but you will be responsible for trying to help that business and those people to survive. Today they are in a bad phase. Let's look at the next option, opportunity. We are talking about opportunities, and I am relating everything to the hospitality industry. I went to Agra. For the first time, I landed up in Agra. I saw the Taj Mahal. And then when I was coming back, I wanted to get something. So when I asked those people over there, they said, Agra bit. Go to Belgaum. The first thing that people will tell you, their kundai is very good. You go to any other place, they are so proud of the thing that they have. But let us come to Goa. We have got so many farsan shops over here selling everything that is Indian. Okay, that is not bad at all. But what happens to all the Goan products? Why can't we have somebody looking into marketing and packing and selling Goan products? Now, I have brought a few things over here. Everything is related to the coconut tree. Now, here you have got the ball. Very sweet, very unique. We have got the kulkuls, we have got the pinagri, we have got the neoreo, we have got the theme sweet. Now you get to see these particular things. The ball you get to see only when somebody gets married, or you get to see all these other things at Christmas time. The coconut burfi, those that is made out of gram, perad made out of guavas, ripe guava, and gos. This is my favorite, made out of tender coconuts. Why can't we make this and sell this? The Goan plum cake. There's a big hulla bulla over there just before about a month or a month and a half before Christmas to make this Goan plum cake. We have got the bath, we have got the fruit cake, and we have got our poder. Now, if somebody can come up with an authentic Goan sweets only shop, I think the people would not take cashew nuts and cashew fenny. Now, please do not be under misguided information that cashew nuts and cashew fenny are the only things to take from Goa. The Goan production of cashew nuts is approximately about 8% of what is sold in the market, and the remaining 90% comes from Mozambique, Nigeria, or Kerala. It is not from Goa. Let us be very frank on this. Let us be open on this. In other words, when we sell Goa cashew nuts, we may actually be cheating. They are not Goan cashew nuts. So why do you want to depend on a product where there is a doubt? Look at cashew fenny. If the cashew production itself is not, in the prime of health, you mean to say that the amount of fenny that is being consumed or sold as Goa fenny, would that be a correct thing? Now, let's leave those aside. Let's turn a new leaf. Let's look at the sweet market. Just go in and sell. I am 200% sure that the people, when they are going out, remember one thing, Goa has got handicrafts. The lesser said, the better. There are brass lamps which are about 2.5 kilos, costing about 900 to 1,000 rupees each. Now, nobody is going to take this as your souvenir and give it to their friends. But I'm sure that they will pick up 2, 3, 4 boxes of these sweets, because all of them are not only veg, they are much more better, tastier, and different in taste than other sweets. So here we have got an opportunity to market the different Goan sweets. And another thing also, we have got a very unique name feature of this, which gives it a very classy look. Those are the grau. And it's all, we have got the perad. We have got a little foreign language touch to it. Let's not look at a dynasty on this, but let us look at the selling gimmick part of it. Then why should we look only at that particular aspect of influenced sweets? Let's look at Goan authentic sweets. Now, the jackfruit is supposed to be the superfood of the coming century. It is the best item that is healthy and good. Now, here we can make jackfruit strips, dry jackfruit strips, or we can even store. Same thing can be done for the mango. Goan mangoes are supposed to be, we have got, I think, I stand to be corrected. My friend Miguel Vaz will get angry with me, but I think we have got around 40 different varieties of mangoes in Goa. And the taste of the Goan mango is far, far more superior than many of the mangoes available everywhere. So here you have got your options of making mango halwa, mango pieces, ambeche sat. Why not brand them in your own way and sell them? Goa has got spice plantations. So many spice plantations. Pachkol spice plantation, tropical spice plantation, Dudhsagar plantation, and we can get some of the most authentic spices that are here. Now, Goa has got two different types of chilies, the Harmal chili and the Khala chili. They are on the point of getting a GI status because they are amazing in their own way. One, gives you color, but doesn't give you the spiciness, while the other one gives you such a spiciness that it's a bomb. But this can be marketed. We have got authentic spices that can be packed into a combination of pottery as well as spices and sold to them, and the pottery can be kept as a souvenir by the people who buy. Now look at the pav. The pav was brought here. The concept of pav and the breads were brought here by the Portuguese. We have to be very, very proud about is that Mumbai sells vada pav, and there are people who have sold vada pav and got Mercedes cars. But that vada may be from Maharashtra, but the pav has gone from Goa. But in Goa, we are having the craze for burgers. Why not change that concept and make it into choris pav, which is already available, kafrial pav, cutlet pav? Why not offer and make something that is branded to this particular concept of the pav, because the pav is Goan. It was from here that it went to Mumbai. Mumbai belonged to the Portuguese. It was given to the British as dowry. And people who went from here, they were the professionals who started making the bread. So when you eat vada pav in Mumbai, remember you are eating part of Maharashtra cuisine and part of Goa cuisine. See the tragedy of this. We had some of the finest artisans in Goa. Now you can see this man who is who is smoking a hookah, and there are around 8 or 9 similar things. A fisherwoman, a toddy tapper. These were made by a gentleman called by the name Vishnu Mahadev Kukulkar in the year 1954. Now, this Vishnu Mahadev Kukulkar, I will bring it more closer to you all. This is the man who has sculpted the Miramar twin statues. Now, this man created these idols in the year 1954, and after around 60 years we are still selling the same thing without making any changes. We have not added anything of similar lines. We are still selling pottery, Mother Earth. If we can sell millions of tons of our ore, the mud, to foreign countries, why cannot we look at this mud to make a living? Now, when I say make a living, please note that this potter's wheels, because of us, because of our pseudo ego that we have, we don't like to buy anything of pottery. And these potter's wheels are coming to a stop. What is happening? The whole community of these potters is now going behind the curtain of time. You can see they are using the traditional ways of creating this pots, different pots. Our generation, the past generation, they have survived on all these utensils that were being made. You can see so many of the different utensils over there. This part is from Bigfoot in the, and traditionally we have got this Portuguese water cooler, or a fridge, you can say, a natural fridge, called as the gurgurat or gulgulet. They come in different sizes. Why can't we look at buying them? Why can't we look at purchasing this and giving this as souvenir? See, the foreigners, when they come here, they don't want to eat on porcelain plates which are nice and white and with designs. They like to eat in these pots. They use the sticks, with coconut, the bamboo stick with a coconut shell at the end as spoons. We have the gumat, big one, small one. Why can't we present this particular thing? Why can't we do something, as a business? Give whatever you want, ask them to make it so that their community survives. Let's now come to the coconut palm. Goa has declared coconut palm as the official heritage plant of Goa. The official heritage tree of Goa is the matti tree, or Granulata, Terminalia tomentosa, or the crocodile bark tree. But after people have put in pressure, they said that the coconut palm is the official heritage plant of Goa. Now, this plant I would classify as this plant I would classify as a universal citizen. Nobody can say that it belongs to me, because it always grows on the shoreline. The coconuts fall in the sea, get carried away, and the coconut is found on all the shoreline countries in the world. So I cannot say it belongs to me. But this coconut, what we call as the kalpovruksh, every part of this can be made use of. Now here, see, you can see the coconuts that have been collected. Now it has got a husk, it has got a shell. You can see that this man is climbing up with a koita on his side to take out the sur, or the alcohol, the that is used in the cooking. Here you can see this lady has created a natural raincoat, and this is the way they weave that. Now just look at an option, a mad option or out of the box option. If you have to use the coconut leaf and create a very fine, just a flap that looks something like this, and give it to the tourists who are coming to the beach, I think they will As a novelty, they will just take it and put it on their head, because when you go down to the beach, it really becomes very, very hot. This is just a mad idea, but you never know mad ideas work. But that shell that is there and the fiber which is there, that coir is called as a wonder fiber. Now this fiber that is removed from the coir, and we have got lots of this raw material here, that can be made into mattresses, that can be made into blocks, that can be made into baskets, that can be made into ropes. Here you can see how they are making ropes. You can even make slippers, wall hangings, caps, bags. Now we have got so much of this raw material lying all around us, but we don't know how to make use of it. Shells. Now this is another part where we throw a googly to the visitors. Now you go to the market, to any shell shop, you find big shells being sold as Goa shells. The maximum biggest shell that you will get in Goa is not more than about 3 to 4 inches big, not more than that. And that also you'll find it in Siridao and a few other places. But you find a lot of smaller shells, broken shells, which can be made into ornamental jewelry, and there is a huge demand for this broken shell jewelry. And you don't even have to break the shell yourself, just go and collect them. They are well polished by the sea, and you find them in big huge dumps. So Goa has got a shell craft, but nobody seems to be, hardly one or two of them are marketing it, but they are marketing too big. Now tell me, how is a tourist, maybe one or two will buy this, but how can they take a huge thing like this out of Goa? And by the time they take it out, this shell is going to break. So you have to have design, conceptualize good designs. Okay, now when you go to Kerala, this is something that is, this is something very unique that you can get with. That is dancing dolls. Now, why is it that these dancing dolls should be made only in certain parts of India? Why can't somebody look at our potters who are there, or papier mache, for example, learn papier mache, give some employment to the people, and create a Goan folk dancer? It could be a Kunbi dancer, it can be a Tonia Maid, it can be a Morulo, it can be Dhalo, it can be anything. So why can't we look at options which can be sold to a tourist? Now, can anybody even visualize to understand that when a person comes to Goa, there are very restricted souvenirs that he can take from Goa? Now, whenever we go anywhere in India, you go to Bangalore or you go to Kerala, you get sandalwood from there. You go to Delhi, you'll get leather from there. You go to Bombay, you get something else there. But when you come to Goa, the first thing, and the Goans look like a cashew fruit to the people. Cashew nuts and cashew feni, nothing else. We have got bibinka, we have got dodol, there are so many other things, but they cannot be given to the people, to their friends, because they are high priced. We have to look at this type of fridge magnets. Fridge magnets that are shell bound, regular, or in the shape of certain things that we have got. We have got a World Heritage Site in Goa, we have got temples, we have got churches, we have got mosques, we have got so many other aspects here in Goa which can be made and sold to be customized. They can be made into certain themes what are there. They can be made into products that people are buying. Now, keychains. We don't have good keychains in Goa. We can look at those particular things. Now, these are things that people will buy in bulk. Now, when you go for many of this lokotsav or any of this handicraft thing, you find that there are some ladies, who are very forlornly sitting down over there with some amazing crochet works. Amazing. Now, remember one thing: the foreigners, when they come over here, they find that our products are handmade, they are customized. custom made. They are not made on machines, they are made by people, and for them, that has got a value. Now, I'm going to tell you two examples, my personal examples. When I understood the psyche of the foreigners. Now, one day I had gone to Minis Braganza Hall, where there was an exhibition of saris. Many saris. Me and my wife had gone, and they had a scheme for 105 rupees. You buy one sari, you get one free. But those saris were those very brightly colored, red, blue, green, with a green border, and all those type of saris. So you buy one, you get one free. So it would cost you 52 rupees 50 paisa per sari. And what I saw over there at the counter was, there was this foreigner lady with short pants, and she had purchased about 100 saris like this. Now, these are the saris that we normally find, the municipal sweepers and all, wearing those bright ones. I mean, they're not bad, but they're the bright ones that are there, single colored. More than 100 she had over there. So I asked her, I was very inquisitive, and I asked that lady, I said, are you buying this to give to an orphanage? She said, no, they are for me. I said, what, are you going to wear them? So she said, no. And what she told me later put me in a tizzy. She said that this is going to pay for my return fare back next year. Now, I was a little stunned. So I asked her, I said, what is it that are you trying to pull my legs? She said, no. Look at this lady. She's a foreigner. She tells me that in Mapsa, in the passages in between, there are tailors sitting down there. I will take these saris and cut them in the middle. Now, again, I thought that she was throwing a googly at me. So I said, cut them in the middle. He said, yes. And then he will charge me 10 rupees to just stitch the folds on top. Still, nothing was going on my head, because I was never brought to think that way. So I said, why? He says, I will take this and I will sell this to my friends as ethnic curtains. Now, remember that in Europe, they always go in for very pale shades. They call them, shades which are like olive and very, 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 very. Here, she was carrying this. She said, a few of these will pay for all the saris, and for them, it is going to be something very good, something suddenly red, dark green. They have never seen such a thing. With a border also, with a golden border. I was shocked. And the main reason why she selected these saris was, it would not be additional weight when she was carrying it. Now look at the thought that went behind. Would you ever think of taking a sari, cutting it in the middle, stitching it, and putting it up as a curtain? But she showed me that there was a market for a product which I would never think of. The next thing that happened to me was, I have started in the bookshop. And when I started in the year 80, remember Femina was 1 rupee 50 paisa. Today you are paying 100 rupees for it. The novels, the maximum price was 18 to 20 rupees. At that time, my supplier had sent me Kamasutra books, which was costing 90 rupees, and I was very upset with that, because they would remain as my inventory. People, it's an amazing book. It's nothing to be what you call not talk about. It is the best book that you can have in your collection. But for me, it was a big inventory that was lying over there. So when I shifted over from my earlier Fidalgos to Hotel Mandovi, I was told to take charge of that bookshop. At that time, this Kamasutra book from 90 rupees was hiked up to 895 rupees, but it was in a beautiful shape. It had 60 paintings inside of different poses. Now, don't ask me to go into details. And one day when I went over there to the bookshop, I found that there were around a big pile of around 18, 19, 20 books on the thing. I lost my head. I said, why is it that you ordered so many books? So that boy told me, sir, that man behind is going to, is buying that. I was very surprised. 895 into, and I said, where is that girl? She's going to search for the 20th book, because he wants those books. So I was very surprised, very happy. We gave that man a discount. So I asked him, I said, sir, do you have a library? Like I asked that lady whether she was going to give to an orphanage. I said, are you going to, you have a library or something like that you want to give? No, 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 no. Same response. This will pay for my return fare back. Shocked again. So I said, how? So he said, I will take these books to MAPSA. Now again MAPSA. Now look at us. We are not even aware of this. He says, in a place called Kanaka, there is a man who does framing. So what I will do, I will tell him to put this one page of fantastic painting onto cardboard, mount them on cardboard. Each book had 60 and he was buying 20. That means there were around 1,200 paintings that he had. So he would take those cardboard and he would sell them. And he told me, he says, one book is going to pay for all the other books, and the remaining part I am going to use to come back to Goa. Now, what is it that I'm trying to convey to all of you? We are talking about job opportunities. Job opportunities don't come printed in the classifieds column or in any books. You have to generate them in your own mind. This idea now today there, I remember a professor from Dempe College, Professor Dr. Sakartande, Prajal Sakartande. He and me had gone to one college in Cape, and the students asked, one question. We had a presentation, both of us gave a presentation, so they had a question answer. What can we do with the heritage details that we have got? And I told them at that time, there are two things that you can do. Make them into a nice book, into a nice project, and keep it in your cupboard and seal that cupboard, or get together, form a group and present such type of dances to the people and earn out of it. Some of you can bring the clients from the different hotels, and some of you can do your presentation. So we can use this, we can have cultural presentations, with a narrative to it. Give a narrative, give a story, because it is not just colorful clothes and a few things held in your hand and people just dancing around. The point is to convey to the people why we are having that particular dance. I am very much against the certain dances that are being portrayed on the boat cruises, what they call it, boat cruises. There are a lot of things that need to be done, but this is not the forum for it. Now, the idea is post-COVID job opportunities. I have opened up certain issues for you all, but I'm going to appreciate certain things that people have done because of COVID. Now, this is this boy. He's from a higher secondary unit in Pedne. His name is Sujay Tirve. Now, as a hobby, as he was at home, not in school, he started using coconut shells, putting handles to it. And then when people saw him doing that, he's selling quite a lot of things to the tourists who are coming over there. This is reported on Gomantak today on 15th of September. This young lady, Nicole Lees, was again a higher secondary student. When she was in lockdown, she saw some bamboos. So what she did, she started putting holes to that. Today, you will not believe it. This young lady who has got a lovely write-up in the Navin Times Buzz, again on 15th of September, her timber lighting is being used in cafe interiors. Interiors of different cafes in Mumbai and Goa. Not only that, this young lady who is in the higher secondary has got the privilege and the honor of giving a job to a carpenter and a few other people. Bamboos, nothing else but bamboos. All you have to do is make holes in them. And you should know how to make holes in them. Now, look at this another young lady. Now, this is, from Ponda. She is from Ponda. She is a BA in English literature. She is a painter. And during during this lockdown, what did she do? She went for a small course in air hardening modeling clay. And she used her concept, and she's making bookmarks in the form of these pretty little animals over here and clip-ons. Now, can you believe such amazing things coming from these young people? Look at this young lady, directly related to the lockdown. Now the world has is going to be behind masks. There was a time when you go to a bank, they told you you cannot put a mask, you cannot put a helmet, remove everything. Now they are telling you don't come into the bank without wearing a mask. So why not wear a mask that is so beautiful? So here this young lady came up with an amazing, she's a UX UI designer. And in the lockdown when she was in Goa, her mother is owning a boutique. So she said, why not make masks which are beautifully painted? So she used her designing skills, and here you are having masks. So again, we are doing something that is going to continue even in the post-COVID era. So, coming to the end of of my talk to all of you, remember this secret of success. Read something no one else is reading. Think something no one else is thinking. And do something no one else is doing. In simple words, to succeed in any business, think out of the box. Your decision, you have to think for yourself. Trust your own intuitions. Go wrong, doesn't matter, make mistakes. But when you make another person think for you, another's mind is not walking your journey, you are. So in your business, if you want to be success, you have to think for yourself. And the secret of getting ahead is getting started. And this is what Mark Twain said. The secret of getting ahead is starting. The point is, you have to take the first step. You cannot sit at home. Nobody is going to come to you. So please get up, take a decision and start something. And the secret of secrets is keep your ears open and mouth shut, because there are a lot of people who will listen to what you want to do, and you will be left there while other people will have already done.